She died 10 years ago. Now Joan Rivers' daughter confirms the rumors. Joan Rivers was born Joan Alexandra Malinsky on June 8, 1933, in Brooklyn, New York, was one of the most iconic figures in American entertainment. Her career, which spanned over 6 decades, was characterized by her sharp wit, fearless approach to comedy, and groundbreaking contributions to the world of stand-up. Rivers' journey to stardom was marked by numerous challenges, but her tenacity, resilience, and unique comedic style made her a trailblazer, opening doors for future generations of female comedians. In this tribute, we will explore the key moments of her life, career, and legacy, paying homage to a woman who forever changed the landscape of entertainment. Joan Rivers grew up in a Jewish household in Brooklyn, the daughter of Russian immigrants Beatrice and Meyer Malinsky. Her father was a doctor, and her mother a homemaker. From an early age, Joan exhibited an innate sense of humor and a flair for performing, often entertaining her family and friends with her quick wit and natural comedic timing. Despite her inclination towards show business, Rivers pursued her education seriously, attending Barnard College, where she graduated with a degree in English literature and anthropology. It was during her college years that she began to develop her interest in acting and comedy. After college, Rivers initially struggled to find her footing in the entertainment industry. She worked various odd jobs, including being a department store fashion coordinator, while auditioning for roles in theater and television. Her big break came in the early 1960s when she started performing in comedy clubs in New York City's Greenwich Village. It was here that Rivers honed her craft, developing her signature style of biting humor and self-deprecating jokes. Joan Rivers' first major break into the national spotlight came in 1965, when she appeared as a guest on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. Carson, the legendary host, was so impressed with Rivers' comedic talent that he famously told her on air, "You're going to be a star." This moment marked a turning point in her career. Rivers became a regular guest on the show, where her sharp, irreverent humor resonated with audiences across the country. Her performances on The Tonight Show showcased her willingness to tackle taboo subjects, from politics to social norms, with a brashness that was rarely seen in female comedians at the time. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, Joan Rivers cemented her place in the stand-up comedy world, performing in clubs across the United States and appearing on various television shows. Her comedy was characterized by its unfiltered, no-holds-barred nature, and she was never afraid to take jabs at celebrities, current events, or even herself. Rivers' humor often centered on themes of aging, plastic surgery, and relationships, with a self-deprecating twist that allowed her to connect with audiences of all ages. In the 1980s, Joan Rivers' career reached new heights when she became the first woman to host a late-night talk show on a major network. In 1986, Fox Network launched The Late Show starring Joan Rivers. This was a groundbreaking moment not just for Rivers, but for women in television, as it shattered the male-dominated barrier of late-night programming. Unfortunately, Rivers' departure from The Tonight Show after starting her own show strained her relationship with Johnny Carson, who reportedly never spoke to her again. The Late Show was initially successful but ultimately struggled in ratings and was cancelled after one season. The experience was personally and professionally devastating for Rivers. Her husband, Edgar Rosenberg, who was also her manager and producer of the show, took his own life shortly after its cancellation. This tragedy sent Rivers into a deep depression, but true to her resilient nature, she eventually bounced back, focusing on her work and finding solace in her love for comedy. In the 1990s, Joan Rivers reinvented herself once again, proving that her versatility as an entertainer knew no bounds. She became a household name in the fashion world as a red carpet commentator. Along with her daughter Melissa Rivers, Joan co-hosted E! Entertainment's Fashion Police, where she became known for her acerbic wit and brutally honest critiques of celebrity fashion. Rivers' biting humor was perfect for the red carpet, where no celebrity was immune from her razor-sharp one-liners. This role solidified her status as a pop culture icon and introduced her comedy to a new generation. In addition to her work on the red carpet, Rivers returned to daytime television with The Joan Rivers Show, a daytime talk show that ran from 1989 to 1993. The show was a success and earned Rivers a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Talk Show Host in 1990. Rivers used the platform to discuss a wide range of topics, from entertainment to social issues, all while infusing her signature humor into each episode. This phase of her career showcased her adaptability and ability to remain relevant in a rapidly changing media landscape. Even in her later years, Joan Rivers showed no signs of slowing down. She continued to perform stand-up comedy well into her 80s, touring across the country and appearing in various television specials. Rivers' humor remained as sharp as ever, and she continued to push boundaries, often addressing the realities of aging with her trademark irreverence. Her 2010 documentary, Joan Rivers, A Piece of Work, provided an intimate look at her life and career, showcasing both her vulnerabilities and her undying passion for comedy. The documentary received critical acclaim and highlighted Rivers' work ethic, tenacity, and deep commitment to her craft. In addition to her stand-up work, Rivers was a prolific author, penning several books throughout her career. Her books, like her comedy, were known for their humor and honesty. Titles such as I Hate Everyone, Starting With Me and Diary of a Mad Diva became bestsellers, further solidifying Rivers' place as a beloved figure in American entertainment. Joan Rivers passed away on September 4, 2014, at the age of 81, following complications from a routine medical procedure. Her death was met with an outpouring of tributes from fans, fellow comedians, and celebrities, all of whom praised her pioneering spirit and indomitable work ethic. Rivers left behind a legacy that not only transformed comedy but also broke down barriers for women in entertainment. Joan Rivers was a trailblazer in every sense of the word. She defied societal expectations, proved that women could be just as brash and unapologetic as men in comedy, and inspired countless female comedians who followed in her footsteps. Figures like Kathy Griffin, Sarah Silverman, and Amy Schumer have all credited Rivers as a major influence in their careers, and her impact on the world of comedy remains immeasurable. Joan Rivers, the iconic comedian, actress, and television personality, passed away on September 4, 2014, leaving behind a legacy of groundbreaking humor and unmatched wit. Known for her sharp tongue and fearless approach to comedy, Rivers became a trailblazer for women in the entertainment industry, often pushing boundaries with her controversial jokes and unapologetic persona. Her death at the age of 81 was a significant loss to the comedy world, and her millions of fans mourned the passing of a true legend. However, in the years following her death, rumors and speculations have continued to circulate about the circumstances surrounding her untimely demise, keeping her memory alive in both the media and the public eye. Now, a decade after her passing, Joan Rivers' daughter, Melissa Rivers, has confirmed some of these long-standing rumors, reigniting interest in the beloved star's life and death. Melissa, who shared a close bond with her mother, has spoken out about various rumors over the years, often dispelling tabloid gossip or offering clarification on certain aspects of Joan's life. The nature of Joan Rivers' passing, following complications during a routine endoscopy procedure, sparked a wave of controversy and legal battles that Melissa faced in the aftermath, leading to many questions about the medical care Joan received and whether her death could have been prevented. One of the most persistent rumors has been the suggestion that Joan Rivers' death was not merely an unfortunate medical mishap but a result of negligence or malpractice during her procedure. In 2015, Melissa Rivers filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the clinic and doctors involved, claiming that they had failed to provide proper care during the endoscopy that led to her mother's cardiac arrest. The lawsuit was eventually settled for an undisclosed amount, but the settlement did little to quiet speculation. Some believed that the doctor's actions were more egregious than initially reported, while others suggested that Joan's advanced age and pre-existing health conditions played a larger role in her death than the public realized. Another rumor that Melissa has finally addressed involves Joan's health leading up to the procedure. Joan Rivers was known for her seemingly boundless energy, continuing to work and perform even into her 80s. She hosted the hit show Fashion Police and regularly toured with her stand-up comedy, leaving fans in awe of her stamina. However, there were whispers that Joan was not as healthy as she appeared. Some reports suggested that she had been suffering from health issues, including respiratory problems, in the years before her death. Melissa has now confirmed that Joan was indeed battling some health concerns, though they were not severe enough to have anticipated the tragic outcome of the procedure. According to Melissa, her mother had always been a fighter, never allowing illness or pain to slow her down, which is why her sudden death was such a shock. In the wake of these confirmations, many fans have revisited the idea that Joan Rivers was not just a victim of medical complications but perhaps someone who pushed herself too hard in her later years, refusing to take the time to fully address her health issues. This adds a bittersweet dimension to her legacy, as admirers acknowledge her incredible work ethic but also wonder if she might have lived longer had she taken better care of herself. Joan's relentless drive and refusal to slow down were part of what made her such an extraordinary performer, but they may have also contributed to her early demise. Furthermore, the decade since Joan Rivers' death has given rise to a new appreciation for her contributions to comedy and television. Melissa has worked hard to preserve her mother's legacy, ensuring that Joan is remembered not only for her groundbreaking career but also for her charitable efforts and contributions to causes like HIV/AIDS research. Joan's work paved the way for female comedians and continues to inspire new generations of performers, with many looking back on her as a pioneer who broke down barriers in a male-dominated industry. The rumors and revelations surrounding Joan Rivers' death have kept her memory in the spotlight, reminding the world of her larger-than-life persona. While her passing was tragic, Melissa Rivers' recent confirmations have allowed fans to better understand the circumstances of her mother's death and celebrate her life more fully. Even 10 years later, Joan Rivers' influence on comedy and entertainment remains undeniable, and her legacy continues to endure.